Ask away. You never asked? No, calm down. I'm not trying to make you more upset.
I'm sorry. It's just...
Let me explain. The thing is, I'm used to not telling anyone who didn't already know.
Bad for Alistair.
It was always a secret. Even Duncan was the only Grey
He's a
Warden
royal who's gonna die in about 10 years.
And then after the battle, when I should have told you, I don't know, it seemed like it was too late by then. How do you just tell someone that? I should have told you, anyway. It was important for you to know. I guess part of me likes you not knowing. They treat me differently. I become the bastard prince to them, instead of just Alistair. I know that
I'm the
must sound
bastard.
stupid, but I hate that it shaped my entire life. I never wanted it, and I certainly don't want to be king. The very idea of it terrifies me. You can say that again. I don't think I've ever had a choice in the matter. Right from when I was born,
It's funny, he
all
doesn't
my
want to be
choices
king
have
yet.
been made
One of the
for
best
me.
endings
I
involves
guess I should be
forcing
thankful
him
that
to be
Arlene
king.
is far more likely to
I'm gonna try to go
inherit
for
the
that.
throne. If he's all right. Well, I hope he's all right. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for not telling you sooner. It was a dumb thing to do. I guess it's kind of a relief
Everything
that
about
you know
getting
now.
the better endings sucks for Alistair.
What do you need?
Because the most
Ask
common
away.
best ending is going to be
Such as they are.
forcing him to be king,
What do you need?
marry the queen, and then one other thing, which he also does not like.
I've a
And
question.
the best ending probably involves
Well,
keeping
here's
Logan
the-
alive, which
I
he
saw
hates
what
even
I'm
more.
going to say.
Yeah.
Yes, and I understand the quest you're on, and this is all. My question pertains to what you intend to do with
He doesn't
me
get
once
a
this
choice in the matter,
business
though.
is over with.
He
As
does.
a
You have to be able to like
curiosity.
convince him to do things.
Oh no.
Not precisely. I said I would serve you until you saw fit to release me. One simply assumes that once your Grey Warden business is finished, you would have no need of an assassin to follow you about. Am I wrong? Indeed. I might even be glad to call myself such, come to think of it. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now... What say you? By all means. Well, the Crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training, the sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is a desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field. I don't know about that. It's simply a slightly different skill set from your average killer as I see it. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler. See? Getting paid for the act is beside the point. An assassin is more a tactical choice than a lifestyle. Of course, the Crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we?
When you care, they want to kill you.
What say you? What say you? By all means. Well now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it? To be truthful, I didn't even know the Crows existed when I joined them. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased. For 3 sovereigns, I'm told. Which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The Crows buy all their assassins that way. buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder. And if you do poorly in your training, you die. Of course, you compete against your fellow assassins, and those who survive are rightfully proud of it. In Antiva, being a crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth, gets you women, and men.
I was gonna say, like,
whatever it is you might fancy. But that does
and
not
you fancy
mean
both,
doing what is expected of
right?
you always.
Yeah.
And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage.
What happens if you romance
confining.
Morgan, Leilani, and this dude all at the same time? Do they get in a bitch
I know
fight?
what happens if you romance Morgan and Leliana at the same time, because I've done it.
I fancy many
get
things.
angry.
I fancy things that are beautiful and things that are strong. I fancy things that are dangerous and exciting. Would you be offended if I said I fancied you?
But I'm a man.
Hey, Rez. If I said you had a hot body, would you hold it against me?
I'm a man.
Ah, that's too bad. I do so enjoy it when I get to be flirty. As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into
not into
business
knife
for
ears.
myself, for a change.
Dagger ears?
Far away from
Knife ear.
Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go. Everything changes, my friend. Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so.
Your mom's a fishmonger.
What say you?
He
By all
disapproved.
Yeah.
means.
Because I wasn't gay.
And why not?
Just like real gay people.
Respected or feared. The
What do you
you're-
mean you're not gay, you homophobe?
Even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose
I don't
at.
like penis. Fuck.
For the killing
I
part.
bet you hate women too.
People simply need
How does that
assassinating.
even work?
Do you disagree?
How can I not be?
But I can't have a woman if you want me to be gay. So we have to hit women. I don't understand you people.
Now there's an interesting word, innocent. How many men do you know who can claim to be truly innocent?
Children.
But if you're talking
Or not possessed by
generalities,
demons.
such as children and relatives and bystanders and such, never on purpose, but it happens. It's unfortunate, but death comes to us all. If not me, then some wasting disease. Death happens, as we like to say. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed.
I mean,
pleasure
what's
of
the difference
sinking your
between
blade into
a
their
hunter
flesh
of animals and a
knowing that
hunter of
their life
people?
is in your hands.
Just a different kind of game.
It is not pleasure. There are many things I did not, but simply being an assassin, I like
The
it
animals
just
don't
fine.
have laws.
I will continue to do it
But
if
don't
I can,
they? They
even
have a
if I am not a
hierarchy.
crow.
They have a leader.
Honestly, could you picture me doing something else?
Depends on the animal, but they don't have laws.
Whereas I am content merely
The
doing
closest thing would be like
what say
apes
Pack animals.
and gorillas, I think, but most other animals
you? By all means.
have
My
nothing
adventures.
even close to
I'm hardly an old man
organization.
just returned from across the ocean, am I? Should I shake my fist at nearby children while I talk about the good old days? Falling down a flight of stairs is an adventure. Falling into someone's bed, also an adventure. I am assuming what you're looking for are professional anecdotes. Let's see, my second mission ever for the Crows was a bit intriguing. I was sent to kill a mage who had been meddling in politics. In Antiva, nobody is too important to escape. As it turned out, the mage in question was quite a delightful young woman. Long, divine legs, as I recall. I caught her in a carriage on
What's
her
a
way to
mage doing
escape
outside
to
the circle?
provinces. After I killed her
In
guard,
Antiva,
she
the
got down
laws
on
are
her hands
different.
and knees and begged for her life. Rather aptly, I might add. So I joined her in the carriage for the night and left the next morning.
Huh.
Yes, but not on purpose, actually. The woman had actually convinced me to speak to the crows on her behalf. What can I say? I was young and foolish at the time. Then, as I was kissing her goodbye to return to Antiva City, she slipped on the threshold and fell backwards out of the carriage. Broke her neck. Shame, really, but at least it happened quickly. At first, yes. Well, not upset. Surprised is really a better word. Then I found out that she had told the driver to take her to Janellen instead. She had planned to lose me in the provinces. I would have looked very foolish to the crows. As it was, my master was very impressed that I had done such a fine job of making it look like an accident. The Circle of Magi was unaware of foul play, and everyone was happier all around. I suppose, but she was dead. It was after that when I learned that one needn't let a pretty face go to your head. Professionalism was key, and one that not... But that's enough tale spinning from me for... What say you? By all means. Oh, you wish to know about Antiva? It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom. Or so the saying goes. It's not really a I hail from the glorious Antiva City, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva City. No? That is too bad. If you were. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most. It may as well be. But not this once, no. I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else. Oh, not so long, I know. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather. Perfect craftsmanship. But I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no?
Not your leather fetish.
True, and it's a comforting thought. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a handsome Grey Warden? Perhaps that was a poor choice of words. True, though it is. Do you object? I'm not sure that that's the route I would take, were I to continue old habits, but as you wish. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would What say you? By all means. I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one.
Oh, okay, so you're Dalish born.
She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city.
I'm guessing his unique dialogue should have taken him to,
And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease, and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book. How should I know? My mother was a whore, as you'll recall. None of the other elven boys in the whorehouse knew their fathers. I was not so unusual. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so
3 sovereigns.
My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Danish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. I had to keep them hidden, of course, as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again.
I can't wait till you get to meet the Welsh elf girl of Dragon Age 2.
Why does she have the gloves?
No, she's just such a character. And he's just reminding me of her.
I don't feel anything about them. Oh, naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the... But such is life. What say you? By all means. Again. Well now, what might interest you, I wonder?
Anthrax.
Describe the stages involved with Lanthrax poisoning. I watched a man go through all 7 once.
7?
Haha, you have rather macabre tastes, I see. I like that. Let's see, how about the largest battle I ever took part in? That would have been the slaughter of Prince Osrin. Prince Osrin was 4th in line to the throne, you see. He started off as 11th, but worked his way up the old-fashioned method by inheriting control of an entire Crocel from his grandfather. After assassinating his way through the royal family, the king hired 3 other cells to take down Prince Osrin. And even royalty is very much bound up in the crows. You wouldn't want it run by a bunch of common. This particular fight nearly bankrupted the nation, I understand. It almost ended up putting a crow on the throne, a commoner. But that's a whole different story. I played a very small. My part in the entire battle was taken up trying to reach Princess Verina, who had thrown in with her brother. I killed about 11 of her guards personally before I got knocked out of a window. I landed in a river and nearly drowned. I was fished out by some urchins who robbed me blind. Made off with my boots, too.
Good thing you buy fancy
Didn't
boots.
cut my throat. And that was my part in history. I had to find my way back to the safe house, bruised and naked, and thankful to be alive. But there you go. What say you? By all means. Well, the only one that's really worth telling. But no, I would rather not. I shouldn't have said anything. Nothing that I would prefer to. What say you? By all means. What say you?
What say you?
Oh, this should be good. What would...
I want you to leave.
Fuck, oops. Oh, yeah.
Yes, it is good to have my sword at my side again. I call her Asala, the soul, my soul. She is forged from rare blue steel and has served me faithfully for many years. Yes, you understand what it is like to have a weapon that is part of you. Few others do.
It's a dog, Stan.
'Tis cold in my tent, all alone. So you shall come to my tent? But whatever shall we do in that tiny little space together while we wait for it to warm?
Little slut.
Good. Then let us waste no more time with foolish talk.
Oh shit, son! I did it! Woo!
All you needed was some DLC gifts.
Hey, can you quit singing hymnals while I'm trying to fuck Layla? God damn it! Also, are you gonna take your top off or what? Like...
Also, you guys are still basically outside.
Yeah.
I see the stories they tell of Grey Warden endurance are not exaggerated.
I had to endure. You didn't take your fucking top off.
Indeed there are. The unanswered question, of course, is whether the endurance exists because of the taint within you.
Oh, I got a
or
taint in
because the Grey
you.
Wardens are by nature so very healthy. I enjoy the thought that 'tis a little of both. Natural prowess, driven by a darker side.
That's me, baby. And by darker side, I mean where the sun don't shine.
Not your audience. They're your audience.
That is entirely up to you. Simply know that I have no designs on your independence. I wish only to do what I desire, and if that coincides with what you desire,
I desire
then so
to
be
be
it.
in between your legs
And should
all
you
the
decide
time.
not to continue our misadventure, then so be it.
I just
Very
ask you
simple,
shave there
is
every
it
once in a
not?
while.
Then we should get along marvelously. Come then, let us be off before the others begin to stare.
Witch gone wild.
Hey guys, sorry for having sensual sex not 100 feet from you guys.
Literally outside, too.
Hey, do health poultices work when
Her
you're trying
tent
to...
isn't even a tent.
Yeah, it's a...
It certainly isn't covered. Who could not have seen that?
enchantment.
I'd love to just see the conversation they had during that.
Are they? Oh, I know what happened. Like I was like, oh god, oh god, oh god, they're fucking. Hey, everyone, come here, come here. She's still singing.
I have something for you.
Ooh.
'Tis a ring. Now, before you get any foolish notions, let me explain. Flemeth once gave me the ring because it allowed her to find me no matter where I went, in case I was ever captured by hunters. I disabled its power as soon as we left the wilds. Recently, however, I thought to change it. Now, I will be able to find whoever wears it instead.
She wants a tracker on your phone.
It is not given out of sentimentality. I believe you were too important to risk. If you were captured, this ring would allow the rest of us to find you quickly. Now you are mocking me. Do you wish the ring or not? I am tempted to simply keep it. Then here, take it, and let us...
Massive magic.
So, full of questions, are you? 'Tis the child abomination you speak of from... If what you seek is to remove... There is a connection between the child... Only a mage may enter the Fade. It requires... And, had we those things, it would still... So...
Oh god, right.
Full of questions.
Oh.
What?
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm good at blocking out
We are
things
in
in this
camp,
game I hate.
so 'tis as good a
If
time
you
as
don't
any.
play a mage, you can't do that quest as yourself.
Perhaps.
You have to go in the Fade and do a boss
Shall I
fight as
consult my
someone
capricious
else.
nature?
And it can be anyone in the
divine an
room.
answer for you? I am to be indulged. Very well. It shall be...
Two times in one night, guys.
So, full of questions.
Oh my gosh. I guess I gotta ask that question, don't I? To progress our story.
So, I assume you were actually asking whether Flemeth herself gave birth to me. Truly, I do not know. I once asked Flemeth that very question, and she merely laughed at me. It is not inconceivable that she could capture a chastened man, or perhaps change to a more attractive form to attract him willingly. I find it more difficult to imagine her with child. As a matter of fact, I remember her being younger once. She had black hair, much like my own, long and lustrous. But how could that be if she is centuries old? Has she become wizened only recently? I do know the tales of Flemeth having many daughters, even though I have never met another, and Flemeth has always treated me as her blood. Must one be a doting and simpering? Flemeth taught me everything I needed to learn. How to survive, the meaning of power, the truth of men. If other mothers do not teach these things, then I believe them. You suppose...
She's always angry.
You do not honestly desire such things from me, do you? 'Tis better to be free of such cloying and cluttering delusions as love.
Like, she's gonna take this as sarcastic. She's gonna take that as a lie. She's gonna take that bad. She's gonna take that bad. It's like speaking to a woman in real life. No matter what you do, you're fucked.
There.
Finally!
I am glad you agree. I tire of this So, full of questions, are you? Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not.
Perhaps you better find the desire to then.
Bitch!
Gloves? You're giving me gloves? What for? Maker's breath. You're right. It is like my mother's. The leather was less thick and it had more embroidery, but these are very close and quite handsome. Still, I appreciate the fact that you even thought of me. No one has simply given me a gift before. Thank you.
I got that stuff you wanted.
Welcome back. You looking for fine armor?
Bitch, I have fine armor.
Of course.
He's back! He's back! Have you reconsidered? I could make such fine armor with your scales. Cost. I should be paying you, friend, for the right, no, the privilege.
Pay him? No, Wade, no. We'll charge you.
I'll hear nothing of that, Herren. This is my shop, and working on Drake's scales won't cost a bloody Elysian penny. It will take however long it takes. You don't rush a masterpiece, my good man.
Yes, that's right. It could take months, years even. You should just leave.
It won't take that long, Herren. Unless I did some inlays of... Oh, I know.
Yes, it wouldn't be complete without the, inlays. Of course, the customer would have to agree.
What should I do?
Does it really matter? You cheated in hundreds of sovereigns.
Does that make it worse? Or is it going to be equivalent?
It would only make it better if it makes it anything.
Okay.
Excellent. You won't regret it. Think of the possibilities, Herren. Think of it.
I didn't cheat in a single thing. I didn't cheat in anything.
You're here about...
I've barely even begun.
Oh, get back to work. Come to see our fine good... Wade is working, but he says you want it... Oh, my... And I have the joy of dealing... Walk the streets carefully.
Only pay if you're gonna make dragon scale armor before the second set of Drake scale armor. Otherwise, only pay for the second set Drake scale. You're just supposed to pay for the one that's before you want your dragon armor. Which could be this one, could also be the next one. Doesn't matter because you have ass loads of money. And getting literally everything you spend here would take you 10 seconds in a fucking shop.
It's done. I made the armor. And it's garbage. I wouldn't let a festering swine wear it.
He makes it again with more Drake scale, and it's better.
Are you blind as well as stupid? The leg guards are too tight. It'll chafe. The dye isn't even... Look here. I see a splotch. It's garbage, I say.
It's fine. Truly. It's a work of art. Here, wear it well. Now kindly leave.
Yeah, that's the first set. It's the worst armor you can get from him, but tier 7.
A lot of fire resistance.
Yeah, it's Drake skin. The second set of Drake skin is even better than that. And there's the dragon scale stuff.
I want to try again. I've learned so much.
Wade, please leave the customer alone. How can... You must be kidding. We're done. No...
Herren, more scale.
Just fucking teleports across the store.
Andraste, no.
I've been thinking every night about what I'd do different. It's all in my head. Dear Herren, don't worry. I can make it faster this time.
You can?
You worry too much. Just give me the scales, friend, and I'll have my finest work for you. Perfect, you say? Well, there are a few alterations I could make. I'll close up the shop then. No more new orders. Think of the possibilities.
This guy hates you.
Hey, I'm paying good money. You think you can make fucking 30 sovereigns in a day? Let's call it 2 days since it becomes night whenever we go to the camp.
I wonder why no one's reacting to a golem running through the town.
And a man who looks like he is a god.
As you say.
Not button. Not button. You really don't know how bad I wanted to hit you the moment you hesitated on this screen. You didn't have to get to hovering over it. I had the instinct to hit you because I knew it was coming.
Hey,
I just got the overwhelming urge in my right arm to swing.
To be fair, I was drinking.